I'm about to take on RuneScape's hardest challenge with only magic. The only problem is, I'm a group Iron Man and I've never done the Inferno before. I don't even know if I have what it takes. But I'm going after Zuck with everything I got. Welcome to the Infernal Nightmare. This is going to be no easy task, but my ultimate goal is that Infernal Cape. Before I get to that point though, I'm going to have to chase down some gear upgrades. So why only magic? There are a couple reasons. I'm a group Iron Man, and I have limited resources and access to specific items in the game, and I've been spooned one of the best items in the game being the Tunic and Shadow. Secondly, it seems like a really fun and intense challenge just doing the Inferno with magic, and I've seen it done by multiple people. People have done it in much budget gear that I'm going to be looking to do it. And lastly, it's just going to be a ton of fun doing this challenge, and it's going to motivate me to chase some of the awesome items that have been added through Desert Treasure 2. I already have the new Ancient Staff, which is great with the ancient spells, but also the Virtus robes have been added into the game. These are dropped by the 4 bosses of Desert Treasure 2. And each piece of the set gives 1% magic damage bonus, which is going to be doubled by my staff, but they will also give an additional 4% to ancient spells, which is going to be really good when I'm using like blood barrages and stuff. Alongside that, these are also a little bit more tankier in defense, I believe, than something like Ancestral. My second goal will be to go get some straight up upgrades for a couple of my items, one being Augury, which should be pretty easy with my group at Cox, and then the Eternal Boots from Cerberus. I could probably get away with that. I don't know what the alternatives would be, but also the Imbued Heart. That one I would love to have before doing this challenge, but that is one of the hardest grinds in the game, but it just might be doable with the changes from the new combat achievements. Lastly, I'm probably going to look for a spec weapon, but I have no idea what spec weapon I should go after, especially when it comes to magic. So if you guys got some ideas for me, drop them down in the comments. That is it for weapons. Other than that, the 2 skills I'd like to get up a little bit more is my prayer and defense. Those are the only other ones that are really going to affect this Mage only Inferno. And that's pretty much it for the series setup. I'm really excited about the goals I set and the ultimate challenge of this whole thing. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started with Slayer. So I'm going to be doing my Imbued Heart grind first, as it's one of the most important items for this whole challenge of doing the Mage only Inferno. So I'm going to be tutorial skipping any tasks that I get from Durodel that are not really that great for me for getting a chance of an Imbued Heart. And then also, it'll be really nice because I have the Venator bow from my Musfa grind. I got in about 400 plus kills, which means when I do get the Imbued Heart, I have enough essence to saturate it as well. One little side note is I already do have a mage upgrade. I have an Aram's top and bottom instead of Dagon High now because I traded with one of my group members that isn't going to be playing much. So I'll be using this for now, which is a nice little upgrade over Aram, especially with the defensive stats and a little bit more accuracy. So I got a Slayer task for Cerberus, and I decided I'd do a couple kills and hey, maybe I will get the Eternal Boots. And then I also got the bright idea to try out a couple kills using the Shadow to see how it feels. And overall, it honestly wasn't that bad. Now, as you can see here, during this kill, I only had 1 food left, and I don't have a live reaction of this, so I'm just kind of narrating over. But I'm getting pretty low and trying to squeeze out this one last kill before leaving. And if you just watch here, I get so close to dying about 2 different times. There we go, 7 HP into my last shark. This is super dangerous. But it's pretty hard, and boom, I get hit as it dies. 6 HP, no food, and a Primordial Crystal. Not what I'm looking for this series, but absolutely huge for the iron overall. Hopefully I will get internals at some point, assuming those are the best boots I can use for the Inferno. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and move on from Cerberus. We're at 98 Slayer, only 640k from 99, and at that point I may go do some Hydra and try to get the Lance for Cox raids. But for now, I think I'm going to go try out some Vardorvis. And let me tell you what, this boss is very overwhelming at first. I was getting mentally tired and just frustrated with this guy. After you keep doing it for a while, it starts to get a little better. I still die a lot. I actually really love the fight now. It's one of my favorite fights in the game, but I can't do lots of this boss at once. Now the reason I'm killing Vardorvis is for the chance that he drops a Virtus piece, which would be really amazing for me. A big upgrade over Arams is what I ultimately want for my armor. But it is the rarest from Vardorvis. It's a different drop rate from every single Desert Treasures boss, and from Vardorvis it is the highest drop rate at 1 in 3,256. So probably unlikely that I will get that, as I'm only here to go until I get the Blood Quartz from Vardorvis, which you can combine with the Ancient Scepter, which increases the healing for ancient spells by even more with blood magic, and it can actually over heal you by a lot in the Inferno. To be exact, the Blood Ancient Scepter can heal you up to 108 before starting a new wave in the Inferno, compared to the previous 99 hit points that you could get to. Also, the Blood Quartz is a 1 in 200 drop from Vardorvis, but as you kill him more and more, the drop rate goes down to around 50. By 300 kills, it's guaranteed to be that 1 in 50 drop rate. I got up to 80 kills with a bunch of deaths and was closing in on 100, and then this happened.
I want these dragons. It's tough to do though. You guys aren't doing so well. What in the hell? Oh my god, Ethan just got a Virtus Rope Top.
Oh, you got that on the iron?
The spoon is back!
The spoon is back indeed. That's huge for you.
All I heard was.
That's all I heard.
I
That must have been you
I
yelling.
just deep throated his mic real quick.
Dude, I was so just demotivated from like the kills I've done today.
You can't even justify what
But
you
now
just
I feel
got.
amazing.
Not even close.
I get that, but this is my life.
You don't get that, man.
And that puts us one step closer to our ultimate goal with a huge mage upgrade being that Virtus Road Top. This is the most expensive one, probably my second most expensive drop on the account other than the Shadow, of course. It sits about 71 mil. The bottom is around 30 and the helmet is around 5. So yeah, we don't need Aram's Rope Top anymore. I'll be giving that back to my group Iron Man team. They'll probably be pretty happy about that. The even crazier thing about this drop is it is the most rare drop rate from Vardorvis. From the other 3 bosses, the drop rate is lower. From Vardorvis, it's a 1 in 3,256. And I managed to get it at 87 KC. Now let's get back in there and keep going until we get that Blood Quartz. Oh, I did it! I'm free! I'm free! I'm free!
Man says I'm free. I ain't even got 100 CS yet.
95 KC. Well, this progress is coming so much faster than I thought it would. I already got 2 of the most important items I need. Go over to Vardorvis here. 95 KC with a Virtus Robe Top and my Blood Quartz. I like the boss, but he can get a little frustrating, so I'm gonna give it a break. And then I'm just gonna move on with a little bit more Slayer. Oh, would you look at that? My first Desert Treasure 2 boss task. Leviathan. We're gonna go ahead and max out at 55. This will actually work pretty well, and maybe I could get super lucky and get some Virtus. I do have some of the best items to use there. I have an Armado crossbow that I got about 25 KC from soloing Sarah. And then I also have the Web Weaver bow, which I got recently as my first wildy weapon, and got the attachment from Venenatus. And this is apparently the best in slot spec weapon at Leviathan. So let's go try it out. So here's my setup for Leviathan. I have the Slayer helmet, all of my gear, the armor, the crossbow. I have Dragon Bolt Ease from when I was doing Musfa, and then the Web Weaver bow for my spec. I'm actually going to wait to kill it until I can get the Twisted Buckler from my teammate, which will give me even better range gear. So for now, I'm going to end the series, and hopefully I will get really lucky. It would be super nice to get another piece of Virtus, but hey, maybe I'll get something to start off the next video. If you enjoyed this video and want to support this series, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.